Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to share could be one of the most significant rumors swirling around the Packers in recent memory. Reports are emerging that Green Bay is actively exploring a blockbuster trade for Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Tee Higgins. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just some rumor mill chatter. Insiders are saying that the Packers are serious about bringing in Higgins, and the potential deal could involve a first-round pick along with a rotational wide receiver from Green Bay's roster. Now, I know what you're thinking. This would be a game changer, and honestly, it might be exactly what the Packers need to elevate the offense to a whole new level. But let's break down what this could mean in detail, because this isn't just about adding another receiver. It's about reshaping the entire offensive landscape for Green Bay. First, let's talk about Tee Higgins himself. He's just 26 years old, and if you've been watching him over the past couple of seasons, you know he's exploded into a top-tier receiver. In 2025, Higgins racked up 85 receptions for over 150 yards and scored 10 touchdowns. He's ranked among the NFL's best wide receivers, according to NFL.com, and his yards after catch, averaging around 5.9 yards per reception, are truly elite. That's the kind of playmaking ability that can stretch defenses, create mismatches, and open up the field for everyone else. His route running is crisp, with around 480 routes run this season, averaging about 2-3 yards per route. Sure, he's had a few drops, 5 so far, but that's pretty typical for a receiver with such volume. He also dealt with a shoulder injury in Week 6, which caused him to miss a game, but he's been back at full throttle since then. Looking at his career stats, Higgins has accumulated roughly 40 yards and 30 touchdowns in 70 games, which is pretty impressive considering he's still in his prime. His EPA per target, a key indicator of efficiency, stands at plus 0.23, and he has a contested catch rate of 68%, meaning he's reliable when the ball is up for grabs. Not to mention, Higgins is a deep threat with a success rate of about 75% against man coverage, making him a nightmare for defenses. His ability to stretch the field could be exactly what Jordan Love needs to take the offense to another level, especially with Christian Watson currently questionable due to a chest injury, which has left the Packers looking for reliable options to complement their young quarterback. Now, let's talk about the Bengals' perspective. They're sitting at 7-6 but face some serious cap space issues, just around $10 million available, which makes re-signing Higgins a tricky proposition. The Bengals are reportedly hesitant to commit to a long-term extension that could pay Higgins around $24 million annually, especially when they're prioritizing freeing up cap space, roughly $16 million, to bolster their defensive line and offensive line, critical areas for Joe Burrow, who's been playing at an elite level with a QBR of 94.1. Cincinnati's offense is balanced, but with a looming free agency decision on Higgins and their cap constraints, the team might prefer to let him walk rather than commit big money. That's where the Packers come in, with about $20 million in cap space, making this a potentially perfect fit both on and off the field. From a strategic standpoint, acquiring Higgins would be a massive upgrade for Green Bay. Pairing him with Jayden Reed, who's already accumulated 950 yards in 2025 with an impressive PFF grade of 86.4, would create a lethal duo that defenses would have to game plan around. If Higgins joins forces with Reed, the Packers' passing game could see a significant bump, projecting over 300 combined yards from those two alone, up from a previous combined total of around 900 yards. This duo could elevate Jordan Love's passing efficiency, potentially adding around 19% to EPA per pass attempt, and push the passing yards per game from about 230 to nearly 275. That's a huge jump, and it would make the Packers' offense much more explosive and unpredictable. Imagine the impact on third-down conversions, which could see an improvement of around 13%, giving Green Bay more sustained drives and ultimately more scoring opportunities. With Romeo Doubs already established as a reliable target, boasting a PFF grade of 84. 6. The receiver core would resemble the potent units of the 2010s Packers, where multiple weapons created headaches for defenses. The addition of Higgins would not only bolster the passing game, but also give Jordan Love the kind of big play threat that can change games in an instant. Now, let's consider the implications for the NFC North and the NFL as a whole. The Packers, with Higgins on board, would instantly become one of the most dangerous offenses in the league. Their Super Bowl odds would likely improve from around plus 600 to an eye-popping plus 300, reflecting a significant jump in championship probabilities, around 13% according to some betting models. Higgins' ability to excel against zone defenses in the playoffs, especially with his knack for contested catches and deep routes, makes him a perfect X-factor for postseason success. This move could shift the entire division, making the NFC North not just a competitive division, but one where the Packers are now serious contenders to not only make a deep playoff run, but to potentially host a Super Bowl at Lambeau Field. Let's not forget that this isn't just a move for 2025. It's a statement about the Packers' long-term ambitions. Adding a young, proven receiver like Higgins signals that Green Bay is all in on building a roster capable of competing with the best for years to come. It's about creating a dynamic offense that can adapt, thrive, and dominate when it counts most. For the Packers faithful, this is the kind of move that sparks hope, energizes the fan base, and reinforces the idea that the team is positioning itself for sustained greatness. Now, I know some of you might be wondering whether this is just a pipe dream, or if the Bengals would actually entertain trading Higgins. Well, with Cincinnati's cap issues and their desire to prioritize other roster needs, it's not out of the realm of possibility. The Bengals are in a tough spot. They're contending now, but also have to think about their future. If Green Bay offers a compelling package, including a first-round pick and a rotational receiver, and perhaps other conditional picks, it's conceivable that Cincinnati might consider parting ways. This is business, after all, and sometimes teams have to make tough decisions to maximize their cap space and roster flexibility. For the Packers, this isn't just about acquiring a talented receiver. It's about transforming their offense into a true powerhouse. It's about giving Jordan Love the weapons he needs to thrive, boosting their chances in the NFC playoff race, and positioning themselves as serious contenders for the Lombardi Trophy. The NFC North is already competitive, with the Lions and Vikings lurking, but with Higgins in the fold and the offense firing on all cylinders, the Packers could be the team to beat down the stretch. And let's be real, the Lambeau Field crowd would go absolutely wild if this trade happens. Imagine the energy, the excitement, the renewed belief that this team can finally get back to the promised land. The Packers have always been about resilience, heart, and a never-say-die attitude. Adding Higgins would be the perfect way to reinforce that identity and set the stage for a playoff push that could end with another trip to the Super Bowl. So fans, keep your eyes peeled because this story is far from over. If the Packers manage to pull this off, it will be one of the most exciting developments of the season, and it could define the team's trajectory for years to come. Higgins could be the missing piece that turns a good team into a great one, and the Green Bay Packers faithful are right there, cheering every step of the way. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. In conclusion, the possibility of T. Higgins donning the green and gold is electrifying. For years, the Packers have been searching for that dynamic receiver who can take the top off defenses and make those game-changing plays. Higgins fits that mold perfectly, a player young enough to grow with Jordan Love, talented enough to make an immediate impact, and smart enough to fit into Matt LaFleur's offensive system seamlessly. If this trade happens, it would send shockwaves through the NFL, and Green Bay would be sending a clear message. They're all in for 2025 and beyond. The NFC North might be tough, but with Higgins in the mix, the Packers are positioning themselves as serious contenders once again. So fans, stay tuned because this story is developing, and it's bound to get even more exciting as the trade deadline approaches. Whether or not it becomes reality, one thing is for sure, the Green Bay Packers are making bold moves, and the future looks brighter than ever.